Hey there, how's it going guys? It's LordChar1892 and today we have another patch notes video. These devs are hard work and slaving away to get us these patches day after day, patch after patch. Man, they're making me go crazy. It's almost like that. You guys remember that scene from Sabrina's Teenage Witch show that came out a long time ago, but you probably seen the meme of it, of where everybody's trying to give her some pancakes. That's what it feels like every day with these patch notes, back to back to back. All right, well, let's not complain. Let's get into today's patch notes. So now these are patch notes for the PC version. This is patch version 1.1.234. So let's go over the notes. Greeting lamp bearers. We noticed with our latest patch yesterday that the percentage of people affected is the lowest we've ever had to date. This fills us with joy as we see that our team's hard work based on your sentry reports is paying off. At Hexworks, we continue to work diligently on various improvements as we are actively gathering feedback from the community as we work on the changes we recently announced. You can read more about these changes here. Now, let's dive into the details of today's patch. New Game Plus. In addition to the existing option to move to New Game Plus 1, we've added the option to move to New Game Plus 0 from Vestiges due to popular demand. Optimization. We've conducted an additional optimization pass on the Rain of Swords used by a boss known for its melodic nature. Removed a few textures that were always loaded to reduce VRAM usage. Gameplay. Seeing people play, we've realized that Umbro eggs had too much priority for the lock-on. So we've reduced their priority so that other enemies are locked on before the eggs. When sprinting, there is no need to press the sprint button again after jumping, falling, or rolling. The player continues sprinting. AI. Totem Parasite Spawn Box tweaked. Some were triggered from too far in the Sunless skin. Womb of Despair giving the Umbro Parasite an immortal effect on a coward has been changed to a Totem Parasite, giving the immortal buff to all enemies in the zone in the training area at Pilgrim's Perch. Added a leashing volume to the Mendacious Visage encounter in the 5th of the Chill Curse City to prevent the player from luring them into an area where they can get stuck. A patch of nav mesh was missing in Lower Kelrath. Under very specific circumstances, the crossbowman was sometimes able to shoot in almost 180 degrees. The Scarlet Shadow now does not die from fall damage, is immune to Soulflay, and also detects the player's position better when the player moves out of reach. Cheesing the Red Reaper is no longer going to be viable. Bosses. We've observed players consistently exploiting the blind spot behind the Congregator of Flesh, specifically behind his right leg. He was not pleased about this. So after an extensive Discord call with him, our designers agreed to teach him a new trick. Beware, Spurn Prodigy cannot be Soulflayed during certain moments of his animation as before. Collision. Fix 2 spots at Pilgrim's Perch where collisions would cause the Penitent guy to get stuck. Change the collision presets from some assets at Bram's Castle. Fixed several collisions at the Forsaken Fen. A player could access a gallery out of gameplay in the Best of the Hollowed Sisters and also bypass the Umbro puzzle. A blocking volume has been added to prevent this. Rock collisions were blocking projectiles in Theft of the Chilled Curse, making it hard to hit the Sparrow. The rock has been pushed back a little. Fixed an issue in the Madness of the Hollowed Sentinels where the players could get stuck if pushed by one of the bulwarks. Some Rogar crystals at Brim's Castle could be stepped on when they were not intended to. UI. Spamming the escape key could provide access to the undesired subscreen, such as the photo mode or others. We are now preventing spamming by allowing the opening of only one single desired screen. Runes in the inventory are now stackable to help with organization and maintain a clear inventory. In light we walk. So that's it for today's patch, but we need to cover some stuff that happened yesterday's patch on Monday because they're quite important, so let's go over those. Okay, so for these, so same thing on the New Game Plus, due to popular demand, we're allowing players to activate the New Game Plus 0 mode from the Vestiges once they've completed the current game. Okay, so they had some stability stuff, some optimization stuff. We're just going to go over the important stuff on this one since it is an older patch. Okay, so for bosses. Sister Delith will now have her parasite active from the beginning of the boss fight instead of after a few seconds. As it was observed, this could cause some confusion. Balancing. The amount of healing from killing an enemy with the Ring of Nourishment equipped has been increased from 5 to 15. Umbral egg health reduced from 205 to 166. We've increased the Pilgrim's Perch key buy price from 9,500 to 18,000 as we noticed some early game players were attempting to grind for it, only to discover they didn't have the appropriate level for those areas. We've noticed the endgame players not relying on parrying as much toward the end of the game. That's why we've reduced the maximum stagger health, regen scalar in New Game Plus and normal gameplay from 1.5 to 1.25. Grievous Strike's damage outputs increase on some weapon families, especially heavier weapons, and fifth, Galar from over-leveled players increased by 50% to make over-leveled clients deal more appropriate damage. To shake up a bit the meta for PvP, Yeta Light Short Sword received nerfs to poise and posture damage dealt, while the Judge Cleric Spear received a buff to smite and damage dealt. Level design. Discovering a secret temple in a hidden location now displays the temple's name in a more prominent position. Added an additional void volume to the Imperium to prevent players from falling for too long at certain spots. Now this other one is kind of a funny situation. Elevators. Elevator doors now have a brief delay before they start moving up and down, allowing players to exit before they begin moving. This change provides players with a chance to reset the elevator for their next respawn. But beware, elevators still have an attitude. This cannot be fixed. And that's it. Thank you for watching. Remember to hit that subscribe button. It really does help me out. Let me know in the comments what you thought about the new changes and what are your opinions about how often the developer is changing this game.